Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your girl AJ, the Suburban Princess, here with the Co-Ed edition, and we're here to talk about what ended up being a stupid ending of a Monday Night Football game. But to commiserate with me as usual, my partner in crime, Eddie B. What's up?
Just still licking the wounds from Monday, but all good. It is what it is. You know what? Second game of the season. It's not really to burn everything down yet. So
No, but you know we're overreactive here in the social media end of sports fandom, so we're pretty much feeling like the last part of last year is repeating. So this is where the all paranoia is coming from, where they slid out of the last part of the season. It seems like they haven't learned anything. Obviously, defense was a mess, and we don't
I
feel
mean,
positive.
there's a
So,
lot of
go
I
ahead.
wouldn't even call the defense a mess though. They had a bad last drive. That last drive, they were just bad. It was bad. Their last drive was bad, yes, because they. So, I mean, you can point a lot of fingers because Slade was in the wrong spot. You know, and he even admitted it. He even said it. That's on
Oh
him.
yeah, no, I
You
mean he
know,
couldn't lie about that.
that last drive we should have converted. I mean, and everybody's complaining about the play call. And I'm like, honestly, that was a good play call because it worked.
I agree. I still thought it was just weird that that was the one ball that Saquon had dropped out of all the
And
passes.
it was and you can't. I mean, honestly, you can't even blame James for that. That was a perfectly thrown ball too.
No, it was. It was right there. I mean, that was the only time he actually could throw to that side. Normally, he just kind of tries to go for it middle of the field. But after what happened when AJ didn't get there in time last week, I'm sure he tried to do something different. But all right, bottom
But
line,
yeah,
it's just very easy to point out the obvious weak parts of this loss. They really shouldn't have lost. Once they kicked the field goal, all the defense had to do was hold. But apparently, that's when Kirk Cousins decides he's suddenly mobile for like a brief minute, and started playing like Kirk Cousins of the Vikings days. And now you're looking at him like, where the hell was all this all game, brother? Like,
yeah,
I'm mad that
too
they only
much.
got one sack on his ass. That's another reason why I'm upset at the
Yeah,
defense.
pass rush was not there.
Um, I'm
Bryce Huff was invisible again. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's starting to equivocate the number on his jersey. He's just going to be channeling zero stats. He's going to be team zero stats until he does something. I like how Fangio just straight up said like we're not going to be able to get any sacks if we can't even get any pass rush. So
yeah,
he's basically saying like if they ain't doing their job, this is just how it's going to be. And I'm just like, oh no.
yeah. I mean, you got guys coming in playing better from like you got was it Booker the fifth, the fourth?
Booker,
He looked good.
freaking BG.
Milton Williams looked good. I mean,
Milt's the one who got the sack. He's the only one
yeah,
that pushed up and got the sack. So that should tell you something. I don't know what's going on with Sweat. Um,
I don't know what's going on with our interior. I mean,
yeah,
Carter and Davis.
Carter and Big Baby Davis is starting to make everybody question whether or not we got the right dogs.
Yeah,
They busting
dogs got
on
to start.
Nolan now. Like now Nolan's a joke. I'm just because he got
Yeah,
pushed by a
because
tight end. I'm like,
he's been invisible too. I mean, these guys got to start. These dogs got to start hunting. He got to
that's what
start
I'm saying.
hunting.
We
Yeah,
waiting for the hungry dogs to run faster, and it's not
yeah.
happening. But yeah, you're right. It's the second week, but it's just the fact that the optics did not look very good,
No, it
especially because
didn't.
these teams weren't exactly teams we were worried about this early in the before their bye. So it's like now you got
Mhm.
Nolan, who's pretty much been on a 40 point bender.
Oh God.
So we don't need to hear that, both Alex Kamara and
It'd be hilarious. It
Shaheed.
would be hilarious if like this week we just shut them down. Like
I said the same thing because you and
because
me, Eddie, know.
because we've seen it happen before.
Yes,
We've seen it happen before. Teams go out hot like two games next, and then they play somebody else next. They can't
yeah.
score a lick. Like
And that's why I'm hoping that that's what happens because it to me it's very much an Eagles thing where they suddenly win and it makes no damn sense why the same things that didn't work 2 weeks prior suddenly work against a team that is red hot right now.
yeah,
And but then again, I mean, who would have thought that the Saints would whip the Cowboys ass? So funnier
I
things can
mean,
happen. Maybe the Eagles can flip the script. I don't know.
yeah, a lot of weird wins. I mean, like even if you look at the Raiders and the
Oh yeah.
Ravens game, I mean.
For that Ravens game, I was like, wow, that shouldn't have happened, but okay.
I
I'm
swear
glad
that
for
team is
Antonio
that.
Pierce.
Now that team is cursed. I'm sorry. They
Who
have some. They have weird losses. The Ravens. They have such weird losses, and it's
don't
weird.
even
But
get me started on the Ravens because part of this is I'm starting to think that Harbaugh is getting old and not knowing what he's doing anymore. I don't know if he's giving Lamar the right advice. I don't know if he'll ever have a healthy O line because that's another part of the problem. And
yeah,
I don't know what's going on with the wide receivers. I feel like just like with our team, I feel like the Ravens should have a 2-0 record right now because I don't see them really have any reason to be anything less unless they're just not figuring out how to hold or their defense is not as good as it used to be. That's for sure for the Ravens.
oh yeah, and that's why I mean it's like so they're 0-2, right?
Yeah,
At the point, yeah,
one of
and
the
you know
shocking 0-2 teams.
yeah, and I mean and like I said before, there's no reason to hit the panic button yet for anybody. I mean this is week 2. I
No, but I
mean
mean, I think all of us fans who've been waiting for football are more stressed because you don't want to be that fan
yeah,
base 0-2 spectrum. But I
because I
mean,
remember the year when the Eagles remember they lost the first 4 games and then they lost first 3 or something and they rattled off like
I
10
probably
wins after that.
I probably
Yeah.
blacked it out. Was that when Carson was here, or who was the quarterback?
I don't know if Carson was here. I know John Ritchie was here on the team at that time.
That might have been Vic.
Yeah, but
Could
it
have
was just
been Vic,
crazy.
Vic
They
year or whatever.
had a rocky start, and they just the switch just turned on, and then
Yeah.
that was all
Well,
she wrote.
I'm with you in the sense that because we know how this team somehow pulls it together at the weirdest times. I'm praying that they don't go into a hole. I'm praying they don't go 0-4 before the bye because I don't feel like they should have any reason to. But now that we've
Yeah,
seen how that whole game played out on Monday night, especially when they came back and got into it, where it seemed like they were going to teeter into like,
they
are
were
y'all going to
moving. They
score?
were they were moving the ball too, which is
They
the
were moving the
sad
ball.
part. I mean, the offense they were moving the ball. Yeah,
Hurts was moving his legs. When
yeah.
Hurts couldn't find anybody, he just decided I'm gonna just take one about 80 yards off the
I love it. He took the snap, stopped, and then went forward. Like if nothing was there, he just took off. No hesitation, no running sideways. He went straight ahead when that hole opened up.
and that bullshit flag he got for
Oh, well, yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. That was
yeah, I
crazy.
don't understand why they felt like throwing that. And then they had to save their ass, and so they decided to give it to Drake London when he scored that touchdown just to look better because that didn't make sense against Hurts, but homie does a little celebration on the sideline.
Well,
Now he's
well,
guilty.
that the celebration was a little. I think they flagged that because that was a little poor taste. You don't do like the shooting at
Well,
the
I mean,
crowd thing.
gunshots. But here's the thing, though, because AJ and Devonta did their bad boys thing with the guns, and turning and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it wasn't like blatant, like pow, 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 but it
yeah,
was like
yeah.
it's still that action. That's why they created that, for the social media team, they recreated the bad boys thing because that's what they were mocking. But yeah, no, I
Hopefully
get
we
it. I
hopefully we
get
get
it.
him back. Hopefully we get him back soon too. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want
I
them to
hate.
rush. I don't want them to rush them because soft tissue injuries are can be a little tricky.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you have to consider too, there are still guys out because of the same issue, so we can't rush anybody back. I mean, yeah, maybe it might be a 0-4 start before the bye. Maybe they need to totally regroup when everybody comes back. But I I just want to see more effort, and I also want to see Jalen make more decisions because I feel like if he didn't take it, he didn't know where to go with the ball a lot, and that makes me nervous because I
They still, all in all, they still handle the blitz well. The one place that people were like,
yeah, that
"Oh,"
was the improvement, but he
for
shouldn't be
two
dependent
games
on
they
one
handled the
person.
blitz
And I
well.
hated that Covey got the ball too many times. What the hell was that? Because they only gave it to Dallas once on the side, and then it's like Dallas never existed. But Covey got all those stupid little.
Well, it's not even about existence; it's about getting open. If they don't get open, if he's not open, you don't waste your time looking for him. If he's not, I
And
mean,
that's
not
what I'm
waste your time,
questioning.
not waste your time looking for him. But if he's not open one time when you look at him, you can't. There's not much you can do there. I mean,
That's why I'm
Covey was
debating.
open a lot, which was weird, but he was.
That's the only thing I could think about myself when I was trying to rationalize it myself. Because I'm like, any other year they have found Goddard fine. So what was the difference with this game? But
Yeah,
then,
he just probably. Well, they probably were giving him a lot of attention because he's the
yeah,
second. At that point, he's the second threat on in the
yeah, it was supposed to be him
in the
and
passing
Smitty.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
him and Smitty were supposed to be the threats, and they obviously took Goddard out. But I was mad because he almost had a touchdown, and then the timing was off, and then I mean,
also, there was a
the
lot
corners
of
were
that.
good.
They keep calling. I see it in a lot of games. So they've been calling that illegal man downfield on a lot of
Yo,
teams.
too many times again.
A lot of teams are getting that called on them too, like which is crazy. It's
Yeah, the
like,
Ravens got it a lot. Was it that or was it that other one? Because it
oh,
had to
that
be
was
a
a legal formation, but the one like legal man downfield.
downfield. Yeah, we got
Yeah,
that one. They got the illegal formation more than once in the Ravens game. It was ridiculous.
yeah.
They had like 9 penalties in the first half.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, both my team and my backup team are snake bitten right now with the refs, but I also feel like that should give you no excuse to still not be able to win them games.
no,
Every game is close for a reason. It's like you had an opportunity, you didn't capitalize. But you're right, it's early. I'm only mad because I just felt like, well, you know me, I'm more mad because obviously my Goddard didn't get his as many balls. I almost joined the whole miserable gang about, Jalen's so selfish. You can't spread the ball around, damn it. But then another part of me is like, well, if he's covered and he's not getting separation, what are you gonna do?
yeah,
Because they were covered. I mean, that's why Smitty didn't get that last interception because he was covered.
yeah. Atlanta has a decent secondary too, which
They
is like,
do. They covered everybody. They were on everybody's ass.
yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, they have a good, solid secondary. I mean, granted, whatever else about them, but that's the one area they're good at.
Yeah, and honestly, that's all you can say. I mean, yeah, the fan in me wants to feel like, all right, Sirianni,
Yeah,
whatever,
of
whatever,
course.
whatever you and Kellen are scheming was some bullshit because they figured y'all out pretty quickly. But then another part of me is like, I hope Hurts isn't totally dependent on AJ. Like, I hope he just because that's another reason why I don't want AJ to come back right away either because I don't want Jalen to give the impression that he's only dependent on AJ and Smitty. Like you have other weapons. You have to learn to get your progressions and just find who you can find. Because
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
half the reason he was holding the ball was because of
but those two are the catalysts of our offense. I mean, they
that. They
just
are.
and like uh, AJ sets the tone. He gets those guys fired up like when he's
He,
there. I
he
mean,
does. He does. He creates obviously the reason why guys can get separation, but I just hate the thought of like because what if he is gone until the bye week? So it's like I just want Jalen to not feel hung up on the fact that he doesn't already have his normal target. Like I need
yeah,
him to be able to improvise and not just be dependent on one guy. Because Smitty can only get there so many times too. I mean, yes, he's sneaky, but when he's open and he's the only one that's able to get open, it's like that becomes predictable too.
yeah.
So
We're gonna have to. I mean, they're gonna have to get creative this week if he's not back because what I want to see if he's not back. I want to see two hours, two running back sets.
yeah, just
Line
put
game,
just put Dotson in there. Yeah,
line Gainwell up on the outside as a receiver. Just move him around. Like,
Gainwell. I keep forgetting about him. I go right to Dotson. That's a damn shame. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Gainwell, and Saquon.
I like when they had Shipley in there as a second running back. Like you can run a two set if you have to. I mean,
Yeah, they're going to have to
it
do something
works.
to that effect because I thought that's what they were looking at doing today. I mean, for Monday's game, but that didn't happen because first they were teasing it was going to be the double tight end thing, and that you did see Calcaterra get out there a lot more.
Yeah, he got a couple catches too. I
He got a
mean,
couple catches where he needs to get the catches, but I didn't feel like they were utilizing the double tight end option as much. And I know everything's timing. I mean, like I said, it's
Goddard did a
clear
lot
for
of
everybody.
blocking. He did a lot. He had a lot of good blocks in that game though too. A couple
Well, and
blocks.
that's what
He
he's good at. Yeah,
he
especially
threw
when they
some
did
good
the physical.
blocks like the spring Saquon a couple times, like which was really good. So
Yeah, and but did you? I don't know if you watched the Manning cast, but I just broke off from like the Kelsey-a-thon on Monday Night Football and went to the Manning cast because Bill Belichick was totally a coach as usual, and he was like, "Didn't you see that play where they pushed Saquon on his ass?" He's like, "Run that back," and I thought to myself, I was like, "Does he realize there's a live game going on?" He wants to go back to the previous play, and so Eli and them are scrambling because they're like, "Yeah, yeah, somebody pull the play back." So they
we
do
we
go back to it, and he
we, we
says, "See right there, Saquon got put on his ass."
what do you think of all those rumors about like if Sirianni doesn't do well that Belichick is going to be our next head coach?
I don't know if I want to buy into that, man. It just seems so stupid.
Oh no, yeah,
I just feel like it's too easy of a thing to just replace him, especially because the Eagles probably wouldn't have a lot of say with Belichick, and I don't see him getting along with Howie. I just don't see it being a fit. Like as much as I know he's the brains of the operation, but he'd have to get along with a whole new staff, and he may want his guys in there. It's a whole meshing that people have to consider, like details of it that probably will
Yeah.
not mesh with this organization. I'm telling you right now. Like he's a genius for a reason. He has a whole handful of rings for a reason, but
Oh yeah.
the Eagles culture, I don't know if it's a culture as far as the front office that can acquiesce to his demands.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna have to not be the GM.
I just still feel like it'll come down to getting along with Howie because Howie pretty much runs that ship as far as who's brought in. And so if
Yeah.
and Belichick was known to not be very good at drafting, like or barely drafting. That's why the Patriots like barely drafted anybody every year because he could always work with
Well,
what
they
he
always
had.
had. They're always so good. They always had low draft picks anyway. So like,
And he always made guys who were no names look good. I get that, but
yeah,
I just think for the sake of that would always come as defeat the purpose of Howie anyway, because Howie's job is to bring people in here that can make plays. And if Belichick doesn't have an opinion here nor there, I mean that could be the very first conflict. It's like he doesn't really care who the freak I select. And then it's like now we're going
yeah,
back to just getting any kind of random talent as opposed to what we've been doing thus far is trying to find the right talent.
yeah.
But and then you got now I'm worried about the rumor that Jalen Carter missed a meeting or a team event last week that was the reason why he was benched for the first series or something in Atlanta. And I'm
I
like,
didn't see. I didn't.
he
I didn't. I
already
didn't see
acting
that.
up.
I didn't see that. No,
I
I
saw
didn't see
that. I
that.
read that. I think it was one of the. If it wasn't Dave, it was Zach Berman's little blurb. But the
Oh, okay.
point was the fact that made because it wasn't like an internet thing. It was just more like one of the writers put it in there, and then I thought, I hope they're not losing focus already. Like this is not the time to start being and who knows? It could have been a reason why, but it's just the fact that they made him benched him. I wouldn't even notice personally unless that came out because it's not like I'm
Mm,
staring at the D line that hard. But I just don't understand how Jordan Davis, as big as he is turning into something one dimensional and not really contributing as much as people are thinking he would. You
yeah.
know,
I mean,
I'm just wondering if he's just not uh, contemplating or understanding the plays, or is it just the other guys around him can't work with him, or I just wish I knew what the problem was. I guess it's
yeah,
just
no,
more
it's
than just
a
having
tough
fat
one.
boys on the team.
Yeah, it's a tough one though. I don't know what to think yet. I'm
Yeah,
hoping
me.
maybe it's this new system that's giving him problems, but
Yeah, I mean that's the
but
risk you run with like so many new coordinators. Maybe it really is. It's about more than just like somebody who's willing to be like, hard on the players, but it's got also got are they buying in? Do they understand? You know,
yeah,
that's that's really upsetting to me because I was hoping, we got all these Georgia boys for a reason. I just figured you just plug and play and put them wherever they could fit.
yeah. But you know what? We can't cry wolf yet though. We'll see.
No, I'm trying not
Um,
to. I'm just saying that these are just things that you just think about, like how is this still not gelling even after a full year? But then again, you switch the coordinators, everything changes every year.
mhm.
I just hope it's not going to be one of these things where after this year, outside of Sirianni, if it changes again, and then you have to deal with another year of adapting. Like for once, I want they need to have some continuity on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that would be nice. So
Would be nice, but all right. So if we're moving on to New Orleans, first of all, my birthday's Saturday. If I was rich, I would literally book a flight tomorrow and just go for the hell of it for my birthday and get like drunk as hell.
I wish.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like if I ruled the world, but I just wonder if this type of game is gonna. First of all, we also know it's loud in there, and if they're coming off of a 2-0 run, it's not gonna be easy communication wise. So I pray to God because Jalen and Jurgens did well communication wise.
Well, they're gonna be working on that silent count. That's what they're gonna be doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm
Uh,
just praying that kicks in, and I don't know. I need a pick. Like I feel like Quignon's getting close. I need him to get a pick.
oh my God, he's been good too.
He's getting too close. Like it's just so close, and I just was like, I keep saying, I keep tweeting, like it's coming, it's coming. I hope this Sunday is his first interception, if not a pick six. Uh,
He's been a bright spot, and so is N'Kobe Dean and Zach. N'Kobe Dean has been a bright spot too. He's been
yeah, a lot of
playing.
these guys got pushed around, but they're still pretty much. I mean, you still saw Zach doing his job. You still saw N'Kobe making some tackles. So it's like I just also want CD to overcome his big slip because they're saying he had a foot injury and he's not on the injury report, but he didn't practice today, which I never
Mm,
go by the practices because some of these guys just have inflamed joints and they just need a day off. So I don't even worry
yeah.
about it. But I hope that CD can come back and get some guys down because as much as he talks, as much as he was happy to get that one big tackle on that third
I mean,
down,
that was a big stop. I mean,
that was a big stop.
he
That was a
stopped
big stop.
Bijan. Bijan is a house too,
Yes.
and just stonewalled him.
And I told you that was my fear last week was Bijan. I mean, I know it seemed like it was just like, don't worry about him, but I mean, he got some runs off. He got
Yeah.
some runs
Oh
off,
yeah,
but
he did. Yeah.
that was a big stop. But I also, it's like I'm conflicted because it's like I do like Bijan, and I kind of wish we had gotten him, but we got Saquon, and Saquon was doing all he could. I mean, at least they kept using the run a little more. But I just felt like between the missed opportunity in the first quarter and then the way the fourth quarter ended up, I felt like
Mm,
I just kept seeing people retweet the same thing. Had you just got that 3 points early, you wouldn't be worried about that shit in the fourth.
yeah, but
I mean, hindsight's
that's
2020, but
all
I'm just saying.
bullshit to me because that doesn't matter. 'Cause in the beginning of the game, you don't know what's going to happen.
No, you
It's
don't. You
yeah,
don't. But you know how they always say you should capitalize on every opportunity, right?
yeah,
So when they lose a game by like a point, which is the most annoying fucking loss, I'd rather
yeah.
you
Oh
get
God,
blown the
yeah.
hell out.
I mean, that's the part right there.
You know
That
what I
right there.
mean? 22-21 is just a big old fu in your face, like. But I just felt like if it was just like the Cowboys score, I'd have been like, nah, fuck it. We just weren't good
Got
enough.
dominated, right?
Not dominated, right? So I'm a little bit worried about the Shaheed kid, and I'm worried about Kamara having a good day. So I just hope the defense don't make me have to drink early. Like I don't want to be drinking like in the second
Well,
quarter.
we all know Kamara is going to get his, so we just have to contain him a little bit.
I
He's
mean,
going
but
to
both
get
of
his.
them
He's
contain
going to get
both.
his no matter what.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with that, but I just don't want it to be a point where after a while, like fourth quarter, you can tell defense is you know, tired because they've been out there too long.
yeah.
We
Oh,
need the offense
definitely.
on the field to make long drives, and it seemed like that only started happening in the third, like in the second half.
I'm
A
glad
lot
it's
of
a one
people.
o'clock game. I'm glad it's a 1 o'clock
Thank
game.
God, because how many times we've been over these nighttime, prime time fucking games on the
Mm.
weirdest nights. I mean, Monday night was cool. I don't know if you saw. Did you see Jason Kelsey dancing in the green
Oh,
jogging suit? I was dying.
yes. Yeah,
I mean,
it was
for
hilarious.
everybody who hated that the fact that Philadelphia got this much play on Monday Night Football, I'm like, you're an idiot because this was his first night, commentating from his old team.
Oh,
So
he
of
was
course they
loving
were
it.
gonna
He was
spotlight him.
loving it. He was having so much fun.
And did you see that when they had the I guess the concert? I don't know. It probably was in the parking lot somewhere in Xfinity Live. But when they had Nick and Fletch go out with the dog mask on the stage,
Oh,
and then that big boy that has the tattoo and he did the jump with Jason and
oh
then
yeah,
he
you think he
he
hurt
blew out
himself?
his knee. He blew out his knee, busted his ACL. Can you believe that?
Wow.
He said he got a busted ACL, but I'm sure he's so happy to be injured
I'm
bumping
sure he don't even
stomachs with
care at
Jason
this point,
Kelsey.
right?
He's probably like, Jason Kelsey, if he's nice, I wouldn't be shocked if he paid his hospital bill if he went to the hospital to
Yeah,
get
right. He
fixed.
probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
I wouldn't be shocked. He'd be like, I'm so sorry, Dunphy. Because he didn't look behind him after he realized he hurt himself. He was just so busy like going on to the next thing. But I'm
Yeah,
sure once he found out, he's like, damn, he blew his knee out. But yeah, it was sad.
I'm sure he'll find out about it. I mean,
Yeah. But all right, so okay, we're not gonna panic. Eddie's usually cooler than I am. I get very emotional and I'm usually only upset for like 2 days. And then by like literally today, I was over it. But I knew we had to get it out. I know you probably were pissed off at the time too, but you're probably like, I'm already over it.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, I was mad that night. Yes.
yeah, I know when I text you and you don't answer back right away, I said, Eddie's probably seething. He's probably, I know you usually watch it with friends, but I'm just saying, like, I knew if you didn't answer me back right away, I said, Eddie's so busy going, like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
But all right, so
Yeah.
before we go, they're trying to build up the PR with the Sixers. I'm still not ready yet. I'm
No,
like,
I
it's great
am.
to see Paul George practicing with Tyrese and Embiid, but I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
already like, slow down.
I'm ready. I'm ready for some Red October first before I even think about that stuff.
Exactly. Let's. I mean, like I
Magic
told
number
you,
is one
magic number is
tonight.
one to clinch the division, right?
No,
Clinch
to
the East.
hit for the playoffs. The magic number is one,
Oh, okay. I thought it was
and
four. I got my numbers wrong.
no, four is the magic number to clinch the NL East.
Oh, so I had it backwards. Okay, so
Yeah,
4 is to
four is
clinch
the
the
clinch
East.
the East. Yeah,
1's to get in the playoffs. Okay, gotcha.
and I think like 6 would be the bye. I think.
Yeah, because the goal is to try to go through home field.
Yeah,
Um, so
but we
Bryce
still
is
got
out
the
of
lead.
his.
I think we still have the lead on the Dodgers, don't we? I think.
I
Yeah,
haven't
we
looked
still do.
since
I
the
think
other
we still
night.
do. Yeah,
We
still have at least
should.
a game and a half on the Dodgers. I think. So
Yeah, because we're about to go through another Mets series now. So
I can't believe we were like all of a sudden we were like 8 up on the Mets when we weren't.
seriously,
Now we're like almost like not we're not up on the Braves. I think.
definitely
Yeah,
ahead of. That sounds
yeah.
about right. All I know is that I'm excited that Bryce is out of his home run drought.
There we go.
So,
At a boy.
at a
At a
boy,
boy.
I tell you, I'm happy for him because you could tell it was killing him not being able to hit that thing out the park. He was sick of being doubles Harper for a while.
Yeah.
He was
Hey,
probably
but you
like,
know
"This is
what?
not
Yeah.
sexy."
Hey, as long as it gets us some runs in, I don't care what he
I
does.
was fine with the doubles, but you know
Just put
damn
the just
well,
put just put the bat on the ball. That's it.
right? But you know that motherfucker wants to hit that out because he'd be nervous because he has that bad elbow and the wrist. So he probably was like, "God dang it, I can't
Yeah.
get any lift." Now we need Bryson to be a little more consistent because Bryson be going hot and cold often. So we just got to get him consistent. Glad that what's his name Bowman's back. Um,
Yeah, he came back swinging too. He looked good the first night back.
yeah, I
He
was
was
in and
off.
out of last
He
night.
was all. He was off yesterday though. But
Sosa's back, which I didn't realize when Sosa came back. I'm like, what the hell did Sosa get back? I forgot he was even on the IL for a minute. Did he hit anything, or he just got base hit, or he just struck out?
I think he had a hit. Yeah, he got a hit. Yeah,
Okay, but
yeah,
I
he
do
got a
love
double.
Sosa.
I think he got a double. He got
Yeah, and obviously Trey's been back to normal for the most part.
yeah.
Trey's pretty consistent since he
Trace
got
can
out of
get a
his.
hit. Yeah, he because he went 3 for something the other night. I was like, nice, okay.
Yeah, especially for the Brewers. Now, shout out to our former guy Reese for actually getting a home run on Nola last night. I did see that. That cracked me up because I'm like, Reese was like, "Thank you, God, finally hit my old
I mean, I ain't
teammate."
happy about that. I ain't want him to hit it, but
Of course you didn't, but I just feel I'm always one of these people torn when we have one of our favorites
yeah,
who actually
yeah,
are
because
successful.
I've always liked Reese too. But I'm just like,
Yeah, I love Reese. I saw it and I kind of was like, "Damn, Nola," but then I was like, "Well, Reese hasn't gotten a hit, so just let him traipse around. He needed that." But I also felt like, first of all, when they do the Brewers, they're the one that has the mascot that goes down the slide, right? That's the only reason why I like when they get home runs because their little
yeah, I think
mascot
they
goes
do
down the
have.
slide
Oh
into
yeah,
the
the
air.
outfield. Yeah,
Don't ask me why I love that. I just love that. I guess that's for me because a little kid in me. But every time I look at Reese now, I still think about during the Mets series when he got hit all those times. And then he had a chance to finally hit that home run, and he just took his ass slow right around the bases just to keep on acting like he was like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
yeah.
That's my favorite Reese. When he knew he was getting hit a lot around during that whole every time they had the Mets, they found a way to hit Reese. He could have fought the guy, but he decided I'm gonna just take my ever loving time down the base. He was like this. He just was taking his love. I'll never forget that. I cracked up. I said, Reese ain't rushing for shit. You hear me?
Yeah, he just was like,
He was just like, you got time. Let me
he just
let me take my
jog, just a
time.
little jog around the
No little
bases.
jog. He literally was like, but and it's funny because every now and then on Twitter, people still use the GIF of him and the other guys when he had the mustache, and they were doing the little like thing and celebrating like this when someone got a home run and tapping them. So someone uses that now. I think Ike Reese uses it on Twitter, and he always uses the GIF of
Uh,
Reese and all them bopping their heads and stuff. So, but yeah, and I'm cracking up though because I feel like every now and then when Cassie gets a home run streak, you have to remind yourself that a lot of these guys can go from hot to cold in a game. So Cassidy has been pretty consistent considering he to me used to get on my nerves with his swinging at every fucking thing. And I'd be sitting there, are you looking at the ball? Like sometimes I used to love Castellanos for forever, but this past season he be working my nerves because he be talking about I just hit the ball. I'd be like, okay, but I need you to
yeah,
actually
that's
have a
all he does.
strategy.
He's like, "What's your approach?" He's like, "I just hit the ball."
I
I'm
just hit the
like,
ball. Don't tell me that you're a professional baseball player. Because if that's the case, we all should be playing.
he's like, "I just hit the ball." I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean, thanks, but hand-eye coordination is important. Maybe that's why you keep swinging it air. Yeah, so that type of stuff is no different from Ryan Howard. Like all them power hitters, like lately Kyle have been going through his like thing, and then I think he had hurt himself for a while. I think he's back in the lineup already, but I know
Yeah,
when Kyle is hitting stuff, it's like he can swing at stuff so hard. And I'll be like, I don't know where you were looking at, Kyle, but
like, you gonna throw your back out? What you doing?
seriously, yeah, between him and Bryce, I'd be worried about them throwing out their back on the wrong night. You'd be like, no. But anyway, it's good to see our
Yeah.
Phillies on top. It's just a matter of time. We're going to be talking about playoffs in literally about a week. Let's just pray that our pitching order stays consistent for the most part. I know Taiwan's starting tonight. It's whatever. We
Mhm.
lose. I'm not shocked. I'm a little nervous about Ranger because he's not at full tilt right now.
Yeah, but you know what?
Just pray for his
I'm more
arm.
nervous about if Ranger doesn't come out of the Rangers gonna end up coming out of the bullpen. If, I mean, if because
Yeah,
Sanchez, Nola, and Wheeler will be our three starters. And then we'll have no,
they're
I
gonna have
wasn't
to
gonna come
have
out.
what do they call that? A bullpen? They're gonna have a bullpen night where they just have
Well,
every.
Ranger, well, he may be okay. I mean, if he can, I don't know if he can come in and give us five. The other night he pitched, he gave us a couple solid innings. I mean, about 4 or 5 solid innings, but
But you
nothing
know it's not
happened.
Ranger because he can't get past the fifth anymore. That's not him. That's usually Nola
Yeah,
type of shit. That's what makes me nervous.
I don't think he's fully healed, but
He
so
definitely isn't. And I'm just nervous, like you don't want him to feel like he got to pull something. Because I thought maybe the reason why he was out was because they had a tear. Because to me that didn't make any sense for him to be out again. But then I'm like, if he's getting all these hits so early, he's definitely
yeah.
not healed. So yeah. I don't know what you can do about it this time, Eddie. I don't know how these things work. I mean, you can keep sending people up and down. I mean, but the more guys they keep sending up from AAA, and I don't even remember their names, I'm always like, shit, who is this?
Like who's Buddy Kennedy? Who the fuck?
Buddy
Who's
Kennedy,
that?
who is
Yeah,
who is the
like,
Allard guy? Like there was all these different guys last week, and I was like,
Cody,
who
yeah,
the
Cody
fuck?
Allard.
The Spencer
Yeah,
guy, what happened to him? Is he gone? Is he back? Like what's
yeah,
going on
he's
with
turning
Spinner?
somewhere. Yeah, I mean they got like
Turnbull, yeah.
Stevenson,
Yeah.
Turnbull. I think they're
Stevenson
trying
no
to.
saved the
I
day
think they're
last
trying to
week, but
save
still.
Turnbull for the playoffs. I think they're trying to save Spencer for the playoffs. I mean Turnbull for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Which is
So
okay because he was good in the earlier part of the season, but
yeah, they're trying to keep him rested. Yeah,
I don't know. Like you said, after the three, I'm nervous. I don't feel like the rotation still is solid enough for five pitchers. It's
yeah. Well, you don't
really
need
interesting.
five. I mean, you don't need five anyway. You need four at the most
I mean,
for
like a confident backup to the starters.
starters. Yeah, you need four starters at the most for the playoffs. I mean, your rotation. So
Mm. All right.
these
Well,
guys. I mean, this is where these guys have to like look. You're gonna have to pitch on 2 days rest. I'm sorry, it's the playoffs. That's what happens.
it's getting to the
That,
point where I can't give you 5 days. You just gonna
that's
have to
why.
just work it out.
That's why they make sure these guys get a lot of work.
We're gonna be thinking optimistically. We're gonna get through this next Met series. I'm not expecting nothing tonight with Taiwan. I'll be honest with you, but if they win it, that's great. But yeah, here's to another. This is week 3 now, so let's just pray that these Eagles don't prove us wrong, and
No.
take care of yourselves mentally. Get a break from sports if you need to. If you're still upset, drink something, get some sleep. It's not that deep.
Yeah, right.
All right, Eddie B. It's AJ Suburban Princess, Birds of Feather, the Co-Edition. We out.
Yeah.
Enjoy your
Later.
sports. Get off the TV. Relax. Chill. Bye, y'all. See y'all next time.
Later.